This presentation will explain how to complete the monthly estimated budget worksheet. As you see on the screen in front of you, there is a blank monthly estimated budget worksheet. I went ahead and entered the name of the student as Joe Demo. The purpose of this worksheet is to allow someone to see a snapshot of their income and spending. The format was developed by Larry Burkett over 30 years ago and initiates the general guidelines that will be used through all of the following budget worksheets. As we fill in the form, I will discuss what kind of data goes into which category. To a large extent, the data for each category is listed as sublines on the form. A more complete listing of what goes into each category is on pages 52, 53, and 54 of the Biblical Perspectives on Money workbook. In order for you not to be trying to shuffle between computer screens, I would suggest that you download and print the schedules that contain the data that will be entered into this form. You may also want to turn to page 52 in the Biblical Perspectives on Money workbook. Before starting into the categories, it needs to be understood that this form is a monthly form, exactly as in the title. This means that if there is an income or cost that happens every 6 months or annually or some other interval, it must be divided down to the monthly level to put on the form. The way I prefer to complete a worksheet like this is to start at the top and work my way through it. That's what we'll do. Now the first category is gross income per month. Gross income per month is exactly what it sounds like. It's the gross earnings on a monthly basis, and the most common components of this category are listed there on the form, which shows salary, interest, dividends, and other. As you can see on page 52 of the workbook, other entries in this category might also include child support or inheritance or some other stream of income. Now the data to be entered is on the tabs in the Excel workbook or on the sheets that you may have printed out to follow along. The first line under gross income per month is salary. The salary is listed on the List of Income tab. I'll click on that and it can be seen towards the top of the screen. Since we're going to enter this on the monthly estimated budget form, we need to check off that it has been entered. To make this easy and quick, I'll just strike through the number. This is the only salary entry, so by clicking on the Blank Estimated Budget Form tab, the $2,000 can be entered on the line to the right of salary. The next line down is interest. Interest income is also listed on the Income tab. By clicking on that tab, monthly interest is shown at $2.50. I'll strike through this and click back to the blank form. The $2.50 is entered on the line to the right of interest. In order to save time, I have pre-entered formulas to do subtotals and totals where needed. So the total gross income per month is $2,003. This form is set to round to the dollar. Dealing with pennies at this level is just not necessary. Moving down to the tithe giving category, Joe Demo is the typical giver and drops $20 a week in the plate at church. He considers that quite generous. On page 52 of the workbook, Category 1 is to include giving to the church and Christian ministries, and maybe other giving. To find that $20 a week, we click on the List of Checks tab and can see it listed. As I highlight them and strike through them, you can see where they are on the list. We now go back to the blank form and enter $80 in the correct box. The next box down is taxes. Again on page 52 of the workbook, taxes basically only includes withholding from paychecks. Taxes like property taxes, sales taxes, excise taxes, and the like don't go in this category. The taxes to enter here are all on the List of Income tab. They include federal income tax, FICA, Medicare, state income tax, and state disability tax. These taxes are common in California. In another state or country, they could be significantly different. As I strike these out one by one, you may furiously add in your head the total to go into the box on the blank form. By clicking on the Blank Form tab, the $527.20 can be entered into the tax box. This brings us to a major concept in the budgeting process that we're learning. The formula on the screen has subtracted the $80 and the $527 from the gross income of $2,003 to come up with a net spendable income of $1,395. Notice that there is rounding here, and the net spendable income is not $1,396, which is what it looks like it should be. But again, we're not going to worry about pennies. The concept of net spendable income breaks up the monthly estimated budget form into two distinct areas. The first area subtracts mandatory expenses from gross income. According to God's best, giving is mandatory for true followers. According to the government, taxes are mandatory for all people working in this country. The net spendable income is the portion left available for family spending. In theory, all the numbers in categories 3 through 14 are discretionary. On that basis, we move forward. To keep the size of this presentation down, this will be the end of the first part. Part 2 is in a separate file, and you can watch that now.